Once more for Miranda. Yeah, beautiful performance. It's late fall and a cold wind calls as I begin to wake and open my eyes as slow as the sunrise while the frost outside awaits. The day's first chore, the sting of the hardwood floor as I answer nature's call and wash my face. Again I swiftly dress, again I skip breakfast, get some coffee, boots, the bone shoes, and then out the door. Oh, I'm going home again. I know I'm not done roaming, but it's time to see my kin. Tell them where I've been on the road for so long, and it's always gonna lead me back to them. But my car won't start, hurts like an old broken heart. I sip my drink, take a minute to think, and try not to get mad. Cause I could pop the hood, but I know it won't do no good. Cause I don't know a bit about how to fix it, no I'm not my dad. I just do my best to be patient, my best to better my situation. My morning and still calling friends, trying to bum a ride. Finally by the fading light, I greet my persuaded night. Offer up some cash, pay for the gas, tell her I'll even drive. Just to get going, get me home again to the fields I was sown in. I've been back many times before, and when I'm done I'm headed back out the door. Cause I don't want the rest of this story I'm living to be only about what I have been. Say we live in our stereo high, taking every turn going 75. She hits a nerve every time she swerves, I worry we gonna die. She says, cool man, everything's fine. Sure, this Honda looks like it's barely alive. I know the cabin and the body look a little bit shoddy, but the engine is fine. And it's been a couple years since we slid a dime. Dude, did you forget how to have a good time? You're always so stressed, always such a mess, you really ought to unwind. I know you gotta get together tomorrow, but I got a lot of bottles of beer and this guitar, and I know a party that some friends are just starting that we ought to check out. Oh, I'm gonna show you, my friend, some of the good that you've been missing. You might not see it as a favor, but I know you're gonna thank me later. So no more bitching and moaning, I'm still gonna get you home for the evening ends. Thank you. That's off of a record I made that I released last year, which features over 150 singers and musicians from my home state of Iowa. Ridiculous, I know. Did it take 6 years to make? It did. Did it cost me in ways I didn't account for? It did. And is it worth it? It is. It's called As Love So Low. So if you want to take that and many other songs home with you, I hope you would. We need to hydrate, need carbohydrates, fats and proteins, shelter from the extremes, and we need sleep or we need to go crazy, cause we are sociable. cadmium, bit of magnesium, sulfur and iron. We are made of oxygen, made of hydrogen, made of phosphorus, made of nitrogen, made of calcium, made of carbon. Yes, that means that we are made of stars that travel across time and space to be us right here for now against great odds. We are here, spinning round the star, drinking dry the bar, with no plans of leaving. We are here, with good old friends around, while galaxies surround, and that must have meaning, 'cause we only ever where we are, 'cause we only ever play our parts, the questions in our hearts, and melodies in our ears, singing every reason, where and why we find meaning, worth receiving, worth believing, repeating. We are here, all thanks to our sun, for all that we've become, for the heat and gravitation, for minds aligned in wisdom that's unwritten, can't be forbidden, can't be forgiven, cannot be hidden. It's hardwired to a system's evolution. It's been proven, it's the truth, son. It's a revolution. We all come from the ocean. We all come from the desert. We all come from the garden. We all come from our ancestors, teaching lessons in essence every second's a blessing. Do we live in love? Whoa, whoa. So here we are, spinning round the star, drinking dry the bar, with no plans of leaving. And it's funny to, I grew up in music. I was born into a family band, fourth child out of 5. So they already had the band up and running. So my agent didn't get me a good deal. And I had worked for many years for like candy containers. Just sugar, like not code for anything, just literally sugar. And it's both something that has informed and shaped what it is that I do, and it gets to be both beautiful and complex. When it get tricky picking friends, tricky sticking with them to the end. When they're difficult, indifferent, or just really hard to reason with. When they're stubborn as a raging bull. When their eyes are red from all the alcohol. When they're beautiful. When you're down, good friends come pick you up. haven't been a very good friend to many of my really good friends. For months now, no wait for years, since I fed them since sweet cheers. And it's true, I know I have been away, and it's true, I know that there's been a plague. I want my friends to know that they all are loved. Well, in and out of they don't hell, they still don't ask so much. Just real love and to keep in touch, to holler for help when the seas get rough. Group video calls, pictures of our butts, onward with tits out, chin up. I mean, who's to say what we really need? Some drumming and a fire and a jug of mead, dancing circles calling the sun up from the east. Like we humans are such funny beasts with our rituals and ceremony, painful cycles indicate melodies of spirits and elemental energies. Existence is a crazy fate, but in good company we can create meaning from the lessons friends demonstrate. And go, some friends be making big mistakes, some friends still got the hottest takes, some friends still rock their shitty tastes, some friends still struggle staying out too late, some friends will only party if it's at their place. I mean, who's to say what we really need to be human? I did just have the privilege. I mean, I've worked hard for it, but it's undeniably a fair amount of privilege in everything I do. I just got back from doing some shows in Hawaii on the Big Island. And yeah, not to rub it in too much on this cold and wet day. I was like, oh no, don't burn me, son, on the beach. But there was also other things, like wild pigs. Never thought I'd look out for wild pigs before. Or wild cows. That was a weird one. And this is like perhaps oversharing, but you can all enjoy in my suffering. You can all join in this. I got to experience something that I've heard happens, but I was working with my sister who lives there, and all of a sudden, I just turned and I'm like, I don't need to be like a hypochondriac or a little bit of like a worrywart, but I feel like I'm burning everywhere. She was like, oh, I think the wind just blew a bunch of fire ants on me. You should strip down and hop in the shower. And I did, and it helped a lot. Because it was like early onset death. It was bad. And just for like a gust of wind, which, you think like, Hawaii, yay! But that's what's also, they're waiting. They're just waiting for you. Because that's not where I'm from. I think it's important to acknowledge being a visitor in places. And then the term they use there, I mean, like in the Spanish language, you might have the term gringo. They have a term called haole, which is someone without breath. They thought of that as the first visitors who wouldn't participate in their traditions of sharing breath. And when you hear about these traditions, there's deep connection established, I'm sure, if you meet with someone and breathe deeply together for a while before you discuss anything. But the settlers, the Europeans who eventually come there, wouldn't participate in that with them, which is different than a visitor who is, mindful and respectful and in acknowledgement of not being of that place and not attempting to lay claim to anything. It's pretty apparent when I go there that I don't come from there, and that's because I'm from Iowa. Once again. So I wrote a song about being from the Midwest. And like I like to do in a lot of songs, I put a little bit of humor in it. So here's a hard look in the mirror as a Midwesterner. This song's called Midwest is Best. tell ourselves to say we're more than just some flyover states. The Midwest is best. Put it on a shirt and it's flying off the shelves. 'Cause we're rich in idioms and family sayings. The Midwest is best, yes. If you don't count our unlivable wages, we've got a lot of heart, but a Catholic guilt comes in spades. The Midwest is best. The American dream, all its glory and neglect. The world's largest watershed, so beautiful and hella bent out of shape. We are the Midlands, the farmers, politicians, and the two. We are the heartland, an example of what this nation's going through. Just look at the state of IOWA. The Midwest is best. Can we make a truce by repeating ourselves? We tease that the coasts are so foolish themselves. The Midwest is best, yet our friendly disposition makes it kinda hard to tell. Our stake in this country's breadbasket getting wrecked. Ethanol empires and derelict rubber factories, hot lots and lead mines, and a sea of Roundup ready soybeans. The creeping omnicide, decline in water quality, the deepening divide between rural and city folks politically. The Midwest is best, sure. We're down to earth, but we're also mundane. We kill them with kindness like proteges of Mark Twain. The Midwest is best. Count the generations since a great something's fled. The old countries where our ancestral bones are at rest. We slap the thigh and say goodbye by saying, well, okay then. Stop it at the door, we talk some more, and then we say goodbye again. The Midwest is best, and that's just something that we tell ourselves to say we're more than just some flyover states. The Midwest is best. That's just something that we tell ourselves. We know we're more than just a flyover state. I submitted that to this year's NPR Tiny Desk concert competition.
Oh yeah.
Didn't win again. My streak continues. Though if you don't follow along, I know you have your Canadian version of it, and now that I have permanent resident status, I will shamelessly pursue the Canadian version as well, so I can lose in 2 countries every year. But kids, it's really not about losing. Like the fact that the competition requires that you write a new song, you can't have published the song prior. It's a really cool thing. It gets me to write a new song every year. And on that note, I'm gonna. Hello, you made it.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. Hey, I'm not letting you off the hook either. Everybody gets a personalized experience at a show like this. I'm going to share a brand spanking new song that I wrote this summer, and I guess I've played it maybe 3 or 4 times now, so it's pretty fresh. It's still in the U of debut. We're to the silent T. But my dad turned 70 on July 26th, and for all the intention that's been set here in this space and in celebration of all that will happen here in the Seed Lodge, with your participation, now that you're here celebrating its opening, and for all the work Esther and others have been doing to get this up and going. I'm going to sing this song because my father is someone who, back where I'm from, has been so many things and served in so many roles as an activist. And there's that tough thing about the wheel of time keeps on turning. And, for those who are hip to the, standing in a stream facing upstream and time is flowing past you, and when your time is done, you go with it. It's flowing into the past. I think about that a lot because my dad is, he's squarely past his prime at 70, and he's done wonderful things, and he's in that wrestling with the laurels of his achievements versus what he's actually doing now. It's a beautiful and difficult thing because what he's experiencing and what he's facing is something we will all face in our own way when we get there, if we're lucky enough to get there. So for his birthday, because he was being a bit of a butt, he's a stubborn butthead, he wouldn't come to the festival that I was performing at on his birthday. He stayed home on his birthday, which clues you into a little bit of where he's at. So there's this thing about being his son and being named after him, and my grandfather, who he's named after, the Glen of River Glen, comes from that. His name is Michael Glen. And he's been so many things, and he's not done yet. But he is sort of laid up in a bit of what I'm going to call a third act of life crisis. Not a midlife crisis. His is coming late. And so to honor him and to be his son who learned all these things from him, I was like, you know what? I'm going to serve it up to my dad on his birthday. So I wrote his eulogy while he's still alive in song. I was like, it has no title, but that's exactly, I was like, I'm going to write his eulogy and then I'll sing it to him. And what I didn't realize is that you take for credit and take for granted sometimes that folks past a certain age just get technology like the rest of us. And so when I performed it at the festival on his birthday, I sent him a video of it through an iCloud link, assuming my dad understood what a hyperlink is, and you can just click the blue thing and click with it. He didn't. So he just gave me a thumbs up or something. And I never think parents should get to use emojis with the children. It's full sentences, full punctuation, or nothing. That's my take. But so I had assumed that he had heard the song that I had written for him. And I returned to Iowa weeks after his birthday. And our interactions were so splendid that I was just like, well, he must have really taken that in stride. So I was like, well, shit, I'll sing it here at this event that he's at with all these people he knows. He hadn't listened to it, and so I just floored my dad in front of all of his family and friends, and he's just bawling in public. And I was like, oh, sorry, Dad. I don't, with a bit of I think he's at fault too for thumbs upping my link. But so it goes. So the song has no title. It's my dad's eulogy, and then I said this at the festival, and my sister was delayed in arriving to the festival, and apparently some folks were not great listeners. So my sister arrived the day after my performance at the festival, and a bunch of people were like, we're so sorry about your father. She was very confused. I'm going to sing you his eulogy. Father was a grocer, but that don't say it all. He taught folks about their health whenever they walked in or called. Where I ate well and watched, where I worked and learned what he used to say back in the day at the food store where he gave his wealth away. My father was a gardener, still that don't say it all. He cared about our waterways and the well-being of the soil. He planted and watered, he weeded and dug, wayfarers to help them out if they needed a buck. My father was a townie, kind of pseudo-local historian. Just had to ask him about the Jesse James gang, what they done and where they been. When he talked to someone unfamiliar, he'd ask them for their grandparents' names. He'd like to know where all the old roads go, as well as who lived where and when. My father was a songwriter on a real small scale, he made it big. He worked on his songs for far too long, but damn, Backwood Buck was a hit. You'd be hard pressed to find another guitar player who could change a string as fast as him. And it might be hard to believe it, but trust me, I've seen just how fast he could break one again. My father was a learned man, he really knew how to read. A little self-mimetic, yes, my father had coyote energy. My father was a damn good cook, he could whip something up on the fly. He had a way with simple but tasty, and every few years, he'd bake a pie. My father was an athlete, he might have been as good as he said. When he coached my baseball team, he made sure every kid got to play. My father was of a bygone time, he grew up slinging beers in a bar. He studied anthropology, the planets moving constellations of stars. My father was an activist, effective every now and then. With no shortage of heart and calloused hands, he was one hell of a handyman. When I'd ask about life, he could give such good advice, and then bitch about something my mother did. When he would yell, it was a lion's roar, just like so many fathers before. He gave the church up, but stayed faithful to his cups. He judged himself a rebel most days. My father was a kind of cowboy, even if it's a little funny to say. My father was a peacemaker, he wasn't big on punishment. A couple of times I gave him lip and he kicked me in the shin. My father wasn't perfect, we knew who is. My father was like a father to a lot of other kids. My father was a kind of legend for all he done and how he lived. His legacy, his influence live on so long as I don't forget. That my father was a grocer, and that don't say it all. He taught folks about their health whenever they walked in or called. Where I ate well and watched customers take their turns for what he used to say back in the day at the food store where he gave his wealth away. He's just like snotting in his mustache and stuff. It's like, sorry, Dad. You know, that's like I said, that's like the 5th time I've played it, but apparently I'm not the only one with daddy issues. That's like resonating with people. Also, it was not lost on me if we can combine what Miranda said with some of what Esther said, that there were sad girl songs sung in bad girls' school. Like, come on, there's a song in there. Sad girl songs. And I'm actually, like I said, I've been performing for 32 years. And I haven't reached my sad girl era yet, but working on it. Be a late bloomer in that department. But I do write sad songs, including this next one. Keeping on the line of tributes a little bit, because I came back from Hawaii and I put a little bit of Hawaii, some references into this song to honor my nephew who died. He died on New Year's Eve, 2011 into 2012. So it really like took the wind out of the sails of the whole like Y2K thing that my family was, being all like conspiratorial and fun about. Like, oh, here it comes! And you never know when you're going to get gut punched in life. And the best thing you can do on like a communal level, if you got good family, you got good people around you, is sort of fortify your connections and your ability to work with something like that when it comes. You don't want to patch the roof when it's raining. You want to have a good sense of it while the sun is still shining. So, which is my way of saying that his death, it was a catalyst. It caused so much growth and learning in my life and for my whole family. He was just a kid. It was an accidental death. Not that we need the full story, but it will serve to just share that that kind of thing happens. And I'm sure a space like this, as it moves forward and all the events hosted here, I'm sure there'll be plenty of overlap on into the realm of grief and how we sharpen that skill set in practice. And what a beautiful and somewhat unwelcome gift, a completely unwelcome gift was given to us in his passing. So I wrote him a song. It's for him, it's for me, it's for my sister, it's also for you. He will. This is called Son of Pele. Your roar, it was louder than the ocean. Your crooked grin was mango sweet. And you soared like poetry in motion. Little guide, butterfly, called keiki. Oh, hey, son of Pele. You were cinder to the soil and spread 60 feet high, 60 feet wide. Trees bowing down to a brave little kid. I'll always love you like that summer that I wish would never end. It was hard to leave the beaches, it was hard to lose a friend. If I miss you too much before I retire growing old, I'll meet you back in heaven on Papaya Farms Road. Yes, I will meet you back in heaven on Papaya Farms Road. Your words were kind, your belly was wide, your eyes bright as summer sunshine. Your spirit is young as killer whale, old as Kauai. Your hair was wild like a little lion. Your roar, it was louder than the ocean. Your crooked grin was mango sweet. And you soared like poetry in motion. Little guy, butterfly, koa keiki. Proof a gentle warrior is possible. You raised an army in the hospital. The truth that made us all philosophers, singing praise to the gospel of a brave little gossamer to you. Your song, it isn't gone. It's in many of my melodies. always love you like that summer that I wish would never end. It was hard to leave the beaches, it was hard to lose a friend. If I miss you too much before I tire growing old, I'll meet you back in heaven on Papaya Farms Road. Yes, I will meet you back in heaven on Papaya Farms Road. Yes, I will meet you back in heaven on Papaya Farms Road. Still keeping in the livestock. Wet dirt hanging heavy on shoes. Old work boots still in use, perched on posts around the garden. Compost strewn on the ground, that's food for the chickens. Flickering light, beeswax tapers burning late nights in the kitchen. Wet wood smokes while it burns. In an old little stove, whose kettle is sold to boil the howls of the wind pushing round the trees. Old window panes letting in a little rain as they shiver and rattle. Some mullet and tobacco, paper to roll, rabbit slippers for a stroll. In a wolf hat and a robe, it's an old song not long forgot. It's a sauntering band having trouble keeping time. It's a gray sky long enough to make one wonder if they're looking at a veil from the other side. It's an old tale, and these stories bear repeating, for their meaning to be heard by those still wet behind the ears. Tell about old bones on an altar in a field. Tell them old God speak, even though we can no longer hear. Tell them rough roads, often double back. If you don't know where you've been and you don't know where you're at, tell about old wounds. They are busy, they are walking through front doors. They have never had a lock on a chalkboard. There's an old faded drawing, an unfinished poem, a cursive welcome home in child's handwriting. Letters and cents and rules. got the devil in the bag, baby Jesus in a basket. Like, where'd you get the swag? Be a question, y'all keep asking. I don't want no diamond rings, don't want that human disaster. I don't want a lot of things, that's not what I'm after. I got the one foot in my lover's bed, I got the other up on stage. The streets are where I learned to sing, just an okay student, but my teachers were great. I am a spirit, born to a particular time, born to a particular place, fated by my family line, destined to deviate. I got a concept of truth running round in my head, I got reality all around, I got a history that's incomplete. Time keeps on slipping, 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 slipping round and round. I get down on tending to our plots, over plotting our escape. My death seems less about where I go than about just getting out of the way. I got me one foot in the kitchen with my family and my other foot is dancing. I'm all in on a bet that I'll die before I do too much romance, and I don't wanna live forever. Shit, that sounds exhausting. My dad's a good friend or whatever, who walks beside me and speaks softly. I got the power of a healing heart, I got the power of imagination. Deal me in if y'all playing cards, a hand for all of my relations. May they greet me like an old friend, may they greet me like an ocean. Gotta hush up my mug, kinda pass me that jug, some liquid courage for the coping with mad self-doubt and then some imposter syndrome, existential dread. And I'm not wise enough to know why the eagles don't just fly us over them. Some wisdom comes in trilogies, some say 42 is the answer. So I got me a towel and a bit of rope, it's the question that I'm after. Through a wardrobe, through a looking glass, speak friend and carry a lantern. If you can't learn to share the load, I'll carry you up the mountain. Da, 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 da. A couple more. We've got a whole other performance after this. I'm going to do a couple more with y'all. Appreciate you. Yeah, it bears repeating. You can follow along. I hope you will look up. She said Miranda Journey Music. Miranda spelled like you would think. Journey spelled like you would think. Music spelled like you would think. So we got all that going for you. And I made mine easy. I have QR codes. If you want to take my music, a number of the things I've sang for you so far that I've sung here tonight are on the CDs here. There's digital downloads, but mostly if you just follow along, it's like this whole necessary evil that we got to participate in, it's both cool and also ugh with all capital letters. It's social media, which means the power is in the people following. If you like the Seed Lodge, check this out. If you go to the Seed Lodge, we'll just take Facebook for example. Go to I know you can envision it in your mind. You're on Facebook. You're looking at the Seed Lodge page. On the right hand side, after it's bio, photos, video, whatever else you put on there, Esther. And then there's 3 dots. You can click those 3 dots. And then you can go down and you can click invite friends. And then you can click all your friends in one click. It will send however many friends you have. Whereas if you are the page, like a musician or you're the Seed Lodge, you can't actually just invite people. You have to pay to do it. So the power is in your hands. to your friends and your enemies. Tell them all to follow the Seed Lodge. Whether they come here or they need to come here. And you can do that for musicians too. That's my way of saying that. So I made like QR codes if you want to follow along to see where I am in my travels. I will go from here back to the Midwest, and I'm very, like I said, very fortunate, very privileged. I'll go down to New Orleans and play some shows and work my way up the East Coast before returning to the Midwest and then going back to Hawaii. And I will be back in Ontario again in April. So it gives you plenty of time to get ready for another performance. And I'll work up a bunch of new tunes, and you can know where to be if you want to sign up and follow along. So that's just under the stairs. It's in Harry Potter's bedroom, right there. All right. Life will serve you summons, press on. Life's a lot of little lessons, press on. Study or you'll stumble. Life will keep you humble. Life's a lot of learning, press on. Life's a lot of growing pains, press on. A lot of not knowing pain, press on. Study in pleasure, in pleasing, in goodbyes and grieving. Life's a lot of flowing, float on. There is wisdom in stories and songs, magic in what it means to belong. You are an echo of your meaning. You are your ancestors dreaming. There is wisdom in stories and songs. Careful what you bet, you could be wrong. Don't be quick to judgment. You may be wrong, when it comes to gods and laws. Remember, take pause, don't fold when you can check. You could be wrong. If you think you got it figured, guess on. Said if you think you got her figured, guess on, guess on. Her rhymes and her reasons, her rhythms, their leanings. If you think you got her figured, guess on. If she's had all she can take, lay off. If she's about to break, lay off. She could be pushed to the limit. She could be handling her business. When she don't answer back, lay off. That song, you can have that song for free if you sign up on the email list. I recorded a whole album in Canada in 2021, 2022, and the stipulations of the agreement from, we'll call it the record label. It was a privately owned studio, and he said, I want to make a record with you, and I said, I can't afford to do that. And he said, I'll make a record with you at no charge if you commit to giving it away to everyone for free. I said, deal. Sweet deal for me. And then he slipped in but I get to play bass on everything. Which was great, because he's a very talented bass player. That would have been rough if he was not good. But you can have that record for free. It includes that last song and many more. If you just sign up on the email list, and you get it for free. It comes out in April. Conveniently, right when I come back. You'll get it before, though, so you can listen and be ready to come to the show. Yeah, I'm going to do two more songs and we'll get on to our evening's final performance. This is, I might have written this song based on the title. I write my songs in a lot of different ways. There's no method to the madness necessarily. Some of them are very stream of consciousness. Some are inspired by other artists. There was plenty of inspiration watching Miranda earlier. Lovely guitar work, lots of interesting and fun harmonic progressions. Some killer vocals, right?
Yeah.
If I could sing like that, I'd be a full-time musician. Wait, I already am. Dang it. And when she's gone, so I'll speak my manifestation of the world. I'm gonna try and book her to work together in April when I come back. Don't tell her that. But think about it. Help me manifest. Think about it. I wrote this next one because sometimes I think I'm funny. And you don't have to worry about it. My family has assured me I'm not. Over and over. But I thought about your anthem. And one day I was just thinking like, oh, Canada. Like with that kind of like, oh, Canada. Because as an American, you're getting a pass. You're still getting a pass. We don't know the history of Canada well. We don't know the current events of Canada. We just get this like, they're like us. We're not really known for our education systems presently in the U.S. I'm sure you're aware of this. We got our own struggles. We're working on it. But I happen to have immigrated and to have been up here, so I was like, you're not getting off that easy. So I wrote a song called Oh Canada. It goes like this. Coast to coast, record floods, record freeze. Another symbolic vote, thoughts and prayers signaling. Another heat dome and record fires out west in BC. Our home on stolen lands, who stands on guard for thee? Oh, Canada, another mining disaster. Count the workers who died. Grab a shovel, dig your friends out. We might just give you overtime. Canada, we suits have money enough to lose to excuse us from our crimes. If those francophones would just forget, we'll reopen the asbestos mine. Another industry insatiable, eating old growth by the load. Another standby land defenders looking down the devil on a corduroy road. Real calamity like the Klondike can get lost in how the story's told. Extractive systems silence their victims. Another rush, another rape, barrack gold. Oh, Canada, the true north of betrayed treaties. Oh, Canada, your love of maples and monopolies. Like Rogers in communications, Loblaws and grocery. Quick, another snap election, a mandate for more mediocrity. Oh, Canada. Yeah, I don't usually get hired for a lot of parties. No, it's a funny thing as a musician. You know, like what I want or what I thought I wanted or whatever, you know, what I thought the calculation was doesn't always line up with what's happening. There's this like, you know, you grow up and you have your idols and you have the people who are like, I want to be like that. And I happened to grow up in a family band, so I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore. I'm with these people all the time, at home and on tour, and we fight all the time. But we ate really good food and we laughed a lot. So it was like, you know, gratitude practice in hindsight. And, you know, at a certain point I was determined, like, I'm going to be like a rock star, a cool guy. And, you know, I tried the, like, do you all remember when Garth Brooks tried to have a rock career? Do you remember this? It was a very questionable choice, but he tried. Good on him for trying. Not similar to that in that I didn't have any success, and I still don't really have much success. You know, I'm happy to occupy the role that I do. I'm a small-time artist, and I'm growing, so that's why I invite you to like follow along and play a part in it. But lo and behold, the universe has reflected back in my efforts that, you know, part of my role is to be the folk singer and to like metabolize what's happening and talk about current events and politics. And as someone who's from Iowa, which is we moved from purple to solidly red, which is the opposite of your color scheme here for politics. Those are my people. Those are my neighbors. And like, I'm not I wouldn't offer myself up as like, here's a representative of Iowa for like what the masses are like there. I mean, there's only a couple million of us, but we're still 90-some% Caucasian, still very conservative and very sheltered in a lot of ways, and yet good people. So it's very complex. You can have very good people with strange views, misguided or underinformed, and there's a lot of work to do in my home. So that's why I keep going back there with my music, even though I'm not without people being like, you should just go to California with what you're doing. And that people, I'm like, but there's already people in California doing what I like. They don't need me there. And just to be clear, my California wasn't Grey County, Ontario. I wasn't like to Grey County. I fell in love, and so that happens. Lead you strange places, which is my way of saying that by coming to Canada, that's what brought me here, because I have a wonderful and wonderfully strange connection to Esther through a school that we attended. And so to close out my performance, I'm going to offer up a song that I wrote that I sing every now and then at shows. It's fun to sing. I don't imagine most people in the audience have any idea why I'm singing what I'm singing, but I will let you in on it, which is that we had 4 sessions and we had readings, and the main readings for each session are what I based the 4 verses of this song off of. And so there's The Law of Dreams, a novel about immigration from Ireland to the U.S. during the potato famine. So many complex things to digest there. The second verse is about is based off of a referencing Beowulf, and then the third is the Epic of Gilgamesh, and the fourth, you guessed it, is a journal entries from a Jesuit priest. I bet you were guessing this one. Who it's the earliest known writings about what we now call Canada, and this was in 1635, 1636, and his last name's Brebeuf, and so just to set that up for like. Now you've got a sense of like, all right, it's going to be a little esoteric, and you got this through line. But I wrote it. I mean, just because I'm constantly writing songs, and you might be surprised many of them are not very good. I try not to share those ones. That happens. And this one, I was really delighted to share it at the school and to many of the folks there, and I'll share it with you now. This is called Roots. Roots seeking counsel deeper than the roots of fixed truth. Curtain up in Fergus, working on a tended potato farm. Life family dies, now he's sailing over ocean at the Liverpool whale. was working on the rails, hooking up my ooh, until she put a razor on him, meeting his like a hate. It was just a nature, don't judge. Cut off from their ancestors, what's any human to do? Speak what you remember, call your elders back to you. Peace in the kingdom, feasting on meat hall. In the middle of the toaster, rat-tat-tatting at the door. Who died? The son of a mother whose name we fear we don't speak no more. Come to ask about some food or offering somebody for. As always I remember, some old gods get their dues. Words are seeing cows, people in the roots and fixed true. Yeah, the roots are seeing cows, people in the roots are fixed true. Hold up there, Gilgy, you big think you know it all. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but Ishtar ain't within these walls. Look out for Baba, becomes a mess of trauma. With love starts and drama for the sake of growth. About to give birth to surplus, we're gonna make all them see this fall. Advent of the stranger, just to read between the roads. The roots are seeing cows, people in the roots of fixed true. Yeah, the roots are seeing cows, people in the roots of fixed true. Witness to the final feast of the dead, yet he misread listening for a Lord's Prayer. Cause he and his God don't entertain the unbaptized ancestors. Well, when they care for their bones, wisdom in the truth. The roots are seeing cows, people in the roots of fixed true. Yeah, the roots are seeing cows, people in the roots of fixed true. river.